the Muppets character, the Muppets here, Ratso Rizzo.
Mm-hmm.
That's from this.
The
Oh, okay.
motion board realized they messed up and it shouldn't have been that high to be
Mm.
an X-rated movie. So, Stephen, from what I'm understanding, you Leave It to Beaver was propaganda.
It was. It was.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to the Chicago Cinephiles podcast. I am your co-host, Daniel. Join with me, as always, is James and Steven. Fellas, how we doing today?
Unlike a Midnight Cowboy.
Oh my god.
That was like Woody.
Yeah.
I love it.
It is
Oh
Woody.
my God.
And then, for the ladies out there, Midnight Cowgirl.
I love it.
That's
I
the
love it.
gayest
It makes me so
cowboy
happy.
verse in my life. Oh my god.
Where were these during the Pixar ones?
They didn't come out then. These were a new acquisition.
Oh, we got 2026. Okay. Awesome. Well, if you guys couldn't tell by the background or by the ducks, today we are diving back into the Oscars and we are doing the movie known as Midnight Cowboy, the 1969 release. So, without further ado, let's dive right in, shall we? So, just Midnight Cowboy was released May 25th, 1969. Starring Jon Voight as Joe Buck, Dustin Hoffman as Ratso, Sylvia Miles as Cass, John McGiver as Mr. O'Daniel, and then Brenda Vaccaro as Shirley. I'll give a few more
Thank
names
you
in
for
there.
Brenda Vaccaro. I loved her.
So fun fact, the older my dad got, people said he looked like Jon Voight, and he thought that was the coolest thing ever.
Mm-hmm.
I don't really see it, but he's not here to defend himself because he's dead. So, haha, jokes on him. Um, it had a budget of 3 million and it grossed 45. That's karma. It had a budget of 3 million and it grossed 45 million. Maybe Dustin Hoffman can take some acting lessons.
Well,
6 nominations, including winning 3, including Best Picture, Best Director, and Best Screenplay. It's the first and only X-rated, now equivalent to NC-17 film to win Best Picture. And then in 1994, it was selected by Congress of the Library of Congress for preservation in the U.S. National Film Registry. So those are some little facts. And we were one episode off from this big episode 69. That just felt very fitting. Anyway.
That's not funny.
But now we're going to hand it over to our peachy Steven, who's in a good mood today. And Steven,
I prefer 68, which is you do me and I'll owe you one.
Well, then there we are. We're at 68 then, like a typical gay man. Steven, give us a summary of the movie, and then we'll dive into the show.
So, Midnight Cowboy is the story of Joe Buck, a naive young Texan who moves to New York believing he can make a living as a male sex worker or hustler for wealthy socialite women in his guise as a cowboy. Instead, he finds loneliness, poverty, and bitter disappointment alongside Ratso Rizzo, a sickly but street-smart con man who at first cheats Joe, then becomes his unlikely friend. The two scrape by together in a rundown, condemned apartment building, with Rizzo dreaming of escaping to a better life in Florida. Rizzo's health steadily worsens. Joe earns and steals enough money to buy bus tickets to Miami for himself and Rizzo. On the journey, Joe sheds the fantasy-driven cowboy view of himself, becoming more of a compassionate and grounded person, just as Rizzo does just as Rizzo dies before arriving in Miami. As the movie unfolds, Midnight Cowboy shifts from a story about personal ambition and greed to being about loyalty and true human connection. Ta-da!
Thank you, sir. All right, y'all, buckle up because we got a lot things happened this year, and
Nothing happened in
I
1969.
couldn't try
Nothing
to. I tried
happened.
this a lot of things, so just y'all just go ahead and lay back and put your feet up. So for
Oh,
those you don't know, we always kind of talk about what happened during that time period because it may affect the voters for the Oscar. So here we go. In January, Nixon took office. In March, for my dad's generation, Mickey Mantle retired. That was like my dad's hero. I'm sure there's a lot of people's heroes who are in their 60s right now. If he was your hero, put it in the comments below. In March, we had John Lennon and Yoko Ono hold their first bed in for peace. In March, what'd you say, Stephen?
Yoko. Oh my
Oh
God.
yeah, yeah. In March, former President Dwight D. Eisenhower dies. In April, Barbara Streisand and Katharine Hepburn both tie for Best Actress award.
Mm-hmm.
In April, Sirhan receives the death penalty for his assassination of Bobby Kennedy. June, Stonewall riots begin in New York City's Greenwich Village. July, Apollo 11 launches. Also in
USA.
July,
USA.
yeah. Also in July, Ted Kennedy drives car off bridge, escapes, but Pastor Mary Jo, I think it's Pechny or Kopechny, did not.
Chappaquiddick.
Controversy because he waited 10 hours to report the accident.
Yeah. Those Kennedys, they're real.
So there's just some,
Um,
On a more positive note, July, Neil Armstrong became the first man to walk on the moon, USA.
USA. USA.
Also in July, they returned, which we recently got to experience that, and obviously they weren't from the moon, but we got to experience that. I can't imagine how much more hyped up that would have been with the first time. We've actually been to the moon and we were still pretty hyped. I had it on. I know James did too at work watching it. Um, in August, Charles Manson's cult kills 5, including Sharon Tate. In August, the Woodstock Festival opens in New York City, or in New York, excuse me. In September, Ho Chi Minh, the Vietnamese president, dies of a heart attack. In September, the first U.S. ATM is open for business. September, Nixon cancels the draft calls for November and December.
Thank God.
Locally, this is for local people. In September, Chicago 8 trial opens in Chicago, obviously. In September, the Brady Bunch premieres.
I think I'll go for a walk
The
outside
sun
now.
shines, calling my name. And then finally, in November, Sesame Street debuts.
You do
So nothing
realize that
really happened.
last week,
Yeah, nothing happened.
on Wednesday, the Smashing Pumpkins gave a pre-concert before Lollapalooza, right? At the Riviera. And who walked on stage mid-concert? But Barry Williams, aka Greg Brady, aka Johnny Marr,
Really? That's
and
cool.
sang Sunshine Day.
That's pretty cool.
If I had been in the audience, I would think I'm having a stroke. I have to be having a
He
stroke.
has to be like in his 80s, right?
Let's say 70s, 80s, yeah, at least, yeah.
Good
And he
for.
was a little, and it's on YouTube, and I'll just say this: he was a little pitchy dog,
Yeah, I'm about to say
a little
I've
off
seen
key.
I've seen enough Frankie Valli performing at 98 to know that it's time it's time to give it up. All right, y'all. Let's hit me with those fun facts this week.
Ain't a lot of them, James. Hit it, James.
Yeah. So the um taxi thing is probably the most famous, although it was stretched a little.
Yeah.
Um, but so in the original script, they were supposed to be crossing the street, or where they yell, "Hey, I'm walking here." Um, that was already in the script that they were going to be walking across the street. That was already in the thing. Now, what wasn't it? He was supposed to flick off the taxi or somebody in the thing, but the taxi did go a little thing because one, they didn't have permits to close down a street to shoot, so those were just random cars.
Oh wow.
So, oh yeah, and they
Yeah.
had remote mics. It took them like 15 times crossing the street, so apparently no one harassed them then about filming. But when a taxi kind of went a little past the crosswalk, uh, he hit it because he is a New Yorker, so I'm guessing this is just his natural reaction. He yelled, "Hey, I'm walking here," even though he kind of wanted to say, "I'm shooting here." And then Dustin Hoffman was like, just stayed in character because he thought, "Well, we'll just see what happens." But
I will counter that a little bit later on in this podcast, the staying in character part. But we'll go on from now. But yeah, it's a weird moment, and that it says a lot about the script and about the movie that that's what people remember, not anything else in the movie, but that moment that was
uh,
unscripted and unplanned. That says everything I think about this movie because
it,
got a lot of comment. I got a lot of
it
opinions about this movie.
it was ranked on the American Film Institute 27th movie quote of all time.
Oh yeah, that's what I'm saying. I mean,
100%.
if that is the thing that you remember from this movie, and it's not the movie, the film, the performances, it's this random moment that happened and gave actual life to the movie that sounded like something real. Wow. Anyway, but my favorite thing is that Mike Nichols, Dustin Hoffman had just appeared in The Graduate, which I love. Dustin Hoffman in The Graduate. I love that entire movie. You all haven't seen it. One of the funniest. It is the '60s. As my father said, that's his generation. That movie encapsulates his entire generation. It's The Graduate. And Mike Nichols tried to persuade Dustin Hoffman not to do this film. I said, "Are you crazy? I just made you a star. This is an ugly character, and it's supporting John Voight. What are you doing? Why are you sabotaging your career?" Exactly what he said, which makes me laugh.
Hmm.
That and the fact and the other point that the 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 Muppets character, the Muppets Ratso Rizzo,
Hmm.
that's from this.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, that's where this came from. Which an X-rated movie to inspire a Muppet
He's one of my
character.
favorite. I love him, man. Like, cause he's like one of the narrators and the Christmas Carol Muppet
That's right.
version.
That's right. Yeah,
And
there
I
you go.
they those two crack me up. Him and Gonzo crack like they bring just enough like humor. It's just perfect. That's a fun fact, Steven. I like that one.
Isn't that strange? It's a little strange. What else you got, James?
I love this pettiness. Apparently, this movie was sent to, the Berlin Film Festival doing the film festival
Oh, yeah.
circuits in 1969, and they didn't win a single award. So United Artists, the people that made the film, refused to send any film for the next 10 years to the Berlin
Wow.
Film Festival. I love
Wow.
the pettiness.
Oh yeah. Pettiness, pettiness.
That's funny. That's pretty good. All right.
um.
Any final things, Steven? Or is this like you said,
Well,
that was
one
slim
studio
pickings?
executive, one studio executive sent director John Schlesinger a memo stating, and I quote, "If we could clean this up and add a few songs, it would be a great vehicle for Elvis Presley."
Wow.
Hello, Elvis always wanted to be taken seriously as an actor. And if you watch any of his early films, if you watch Love Me Tender, or if you watch what's the other one he did? It's in set in Louisiana. He's a great actor. He really is a good actor.
Huh.
And if they've been given material to be a good actor, but Colonel Tom Parker wasn't allowed. I mean, you watch him in like Love Me Tender, you're like, he really can do this. He really can do this. He would have been a really great actor, but he wasn't allowed to do it. But
Would he have
I
been
don't think
John Voight's character, I assume?
I don't think he could have done this. Now we're talking '69. We're talking he died what 5 years later.
Hmm.
I mean, and not in the best of shape. So
All those
Yeah.
peanut butter
It
and banana
peanut
sandwiches.
butter and sandwiches.
I must say it's kind of hard to like be the poor guy when you're fat. You know what I mean? Like you can't like that doesn't come off very well when you're saying you're struggling
Beaver
and
Lars Ranger.
yeah,
Yeah.
jiggle,
I
jiggle.
mean, quote
Peanut
Larry
butter
Cable Guy, they must be new.
Yeah, right.
that just killed me. I was like, oh my god, Elvis. Oh my
That
god.
would be very interesting to see.
Anyway,
You know,
go for it.
we should start adding a segment to maybe every week we pick somebody beforehand and you come up with who you would recast for the roles.
Oh my
That might be
god.
something fun to do. I don't know if it's not, we can cut it out, but
Me,
um,
and
yeah. All right, now let's go ahead and do what everybody else is doing because everybody else is talking. We're gonna move on to the actual movie. So
okay.
let's go ahead and dive in. Um,
Mm-hmm.
what were our initial thoughts on the movie? Do we have any idea what to expect?
I was I had no idea what this movie was. I assumed that there would be a cowboy in it, and if not, be like, what title is this? But that was about it. That's all
I
I
mean,
knew
can't go
about
off
this
that because
movie.
Chariots of Fire didn't have any chariots or
No,
fire.
yeah, yeah. I've
Yeah,
been burned by the Academy before.
yeah, you're right. I mean, I knew it was about hustlers. I knew it was about hustlers. I didn't know much about more than that. Really, I didn't know much more about. And I knew
I
it
didn't,
was set
and I didn't know
really,
that until Steven told
really
me.
gritty '60s New York. And for this being a 1969 winning a 1970 movie, it sure looks like a mid '60s movie. I mean, all the hype. What am I trying to say? When he goes to the party, basically the Warhol esque party, which is basically
Hmm.
at the factory. I mean, it's very set in mid '60s of New York, in my mind, I think, which may be where the book is coming from. But yeah, it's really just that whole section of the movie alone. I was like, wow, this is really we're setting this in a very specific place, and it's a little before this movie's time, I think. But
Hmm.
yeah, anyway, but
And this is why we have you on this thing because I had no idea. Like that makes sense. So
run.
to me, it fits. But like, if you're obviously the expert on it, so I, appreciate your input on that. I definitely think this is the most grittiest movie that we've watched so far. Wouldn't you guys agree? Like, because
Yeah,
even
What do you
I mean,
mean?
I don't even think the characters are that lovable. Like, none of them
no,
are.
no,
I
no.
like John
What do you
voice.
mean?
I like his like voice, but I don't think none of them are like you're not really rooting for any of them. I feel like
Mhm.
You
it
mean
feels like
you
in the
think
heat of the
this is
night because that
more
was very
grittier than
gritty too, obviously. But like
Yeah,
but in the heat of the night we was like a good like
just,
there was a good
you know,
guy. You know what I mean? Like
just their apartment alone is like, oh my
oh
god,
god, yeah. And he's like, oh, I don't have heat. I'm like, what? Like
electricity.
well,
he
I had
pulls
a
the
friend.
cod out.
I had a friend who lived in the city, no gas. I think he did have electricity, so he didn't pay his electric bill, but he hadn't paid his gas bill and he hadn't paid his rent. And lived that way for 2 years. 2 years,
Isn't that crazy how that works?
crazy. I was like, how'd you? But we would get yeah, because he didn't have gas, he didn't have heat. Sometimes in the winter, so he'd have to have a little space heaters. It was crazy, insane. Yeah, but people live like this. They live like this.
They do, yeah.
See the rest of my apartment. I live like this too. Um,
So obviously none of us were alive in '69, so this is what this is based off of kind of either what we've been told by people or what we've watched or whatever. But do you guys think this movie portrays like the grittiness of New York City very well?
yes, yes.
I mean,
I think it well into the '70s. New York
Because
was.
I
I
agree
mean,
with because I was talking
there
to
was so
Steven about it, and I when Steven brought it up, I was like, yeah, it makes a lot of sense.
there's no. I mean, the city lost funding. I mean, hell, in the mid '70s, it almost went bankrupt. I mean, and the feds wouldn't take care of it.
Because that was
So
like
I mean,
was that when like the cocaine and stuff was running rampant?
well, I mean, it's when it's I'd say mid '70s. I mean, we're talking. You could
Because we also had
just
this
look
like the Son of Sam, all that kind of stuff happening.
at any video you can see of mid '70s New York, and you'll see the buses, the trains. They're all just covered in graffiti. There's just garbage everywhere. There are buildings that look like bombed out places in Beirut. I mean, it's just a completely different city,
That's where
and
Ratso
yet
lives.
there's people going, and we're talking 42nd Street are all peep shows, and this is where Broadway was, and now it's got peep shows and hookers, and pretty much a lot of gay hustlers. So it was a very different city. So
What's
definitely,
wild to me is that it has all this, and I think some of this is still relevant today. To me, see, we talked about this before. We would never live in New York City. I don't
oh
understand the appeal of it.
hell
I can't imagine the appeal of it back then. Like, why would someone want
no.
to go? Like, why would John Voight's character want to go to this like hellhole? Basically, it's
I
like,
think all that, and I think it's still the same. There's for a lot of people, it's New York is I'm an outcast,
yeah,
and this is where I want to be. The other outcasts are there, and that's there. There's something to that, and plus, it's such a hard city to live in. If you can make it there, you can make it anywhere. I mean, it's
hmm.
so difficult. My favorite story about being walking around New York is I was there one day and there was this. I mean, I'm walking the street just being a tourist or whatever, and it's some side street somewhere, and this woman she was on the first floor had this like beautiful French doors, right? She opens her French doors like this, and it's standing there, buck naked. Beautiful
Oh
blonde woman,
wow.
not a stitch of clothing on her. Great brand. I mean, the whole, and she's just ignoring. No one looks but me. And I'm like, what is, nobody stopped walking. They were just getting on their way. I was like, this is New York City. Nobody
No one gives an
cares.
F.
No, they don't care.
That's
I was like,
perfect. I
oh,
love
what
that.
a deal. I was
That's
like,
hilarious.
what's going on? And she's, oh, what a lovely day. Like, what the hell is
Between that
happening?
woman and the woman you saw in Italy with the skin with the leather like
Oh,
jumpsuit, Steven, I kind of wish I could be you sometimes because
I'm telling you,
seeing
I
those
get some
two, man, and it's wasted on you.
it's wasted on me. You're right.
Or
Fortunately.
that one woman who like used to work with that tried to come up to you and like put her boobs in your face, and you were like, "You
I
got a
was the woman
brother?
who
I'll happily."
she would always come up to the men in the audience and she would like put her breasts near them. Could you do this for me? And they'd always do it. So she didn't do any work. She was like in her mid 30s, really hot woman. And she tried it on me one day. I was like, honey, unless you got a brother with some extra flash like that, it's not going to work. Okay. So sorry. What do you mean? You know exactly what I mean, sweetheart. Sorry. Well, what could you do? Something, like,
That's
like
so
we're in
funny.
Three's Company, you know what I mean?
Yeah, like Chrissy, that's so funny.
Come on. Anyway.
So I do, I do just kind of, I didn't know how to word this, so I just kind of put it sort of quick in our script. But like, I feel like this is one of those movies that shocked a lot of old people. Maybe they were kind of like the last, like
Well,
you know, like oh my god, how dare an X-rated film went? You know what I mean? Like I just know there were some for the new terminology, old heads that were
to
just
that,
like grasping their pearls. You know?
on the occasion of the film's 25th anniversary in 1994, Dustin Hoffman revealed on Larry King Live that when the movie was first previewed, the audiences started to leave in droves during the gay encounter between John Voight and Bob Balaban. They just walked out. They were done. I mean, and I can see why. That's not something that's been captured on film quite a bit, and it wasn't even very explicit. I mean, he's
Yeah.
just putting his head on his shoulder and kissing him on the end and going down on him. But
I
whoa,
mean, this movie, like, if you're looking at it from like now versus back then, it's like, okay, you gotta have to. Like, I had to like think about historical context. So that's when I was watching this movie, I was like, what's so groundbreaking? What's so revolutionary about it? Because like I'm just like looking at this, just seems like some guy just trying to. He's terrible at his job, or attempting to be attempting his job. Like he did. I don't think he was very successful had like one gig, and then it's like. But I'm looking at it through a modern lens, and like Stonewall happens literally a month after this movie is released. So it's like
Mm.
looking at it through a modern lens, it's like this is just a regular movie with, it's some guy following him around. We've seen it a million times, but then you're like
I
the
think
subject matter.
you totally hit it. I think I can see. I see why people thought this was so groundbreaking. I get it, maybe. Pardon me. What well, was good. Good hiccup. But but it's all these flashbacks. All the flashbacks annoyed me. The music annoyed me. That damn song, it annoyed me. Just annoyed me. Too much work. Too much of that song. Just so much of it. I was like, we get it. You think America's horrible. We get it. Can we move on with the story, please? All the flashbacks were showing how gritty and horrible people were in America. Okay, okay, okay. And maybe if that hadn't been done before, I didn't like how the flashbacks happened. I didn't like the music with the flashbacks. Just so much of it. I was like, okay, I see how this would have been groundbreaking or revolutionary or different in 1969. It did not appeal to me at all.
I
At
mean,
all.
reading some of the old reviews, it's like, oh, okay, I kind of get where the pearl clutching. Because I remember I read one thing, and it was like, this should come up with a Surgeon General warning so you don't become gay watching this film. And I'm like,
And Pauline
or
Kael even
whatever
said,
word they use.
Pauline
I'm
Kael
like,
loved
oh,
the two just by John Voight and by Dustin Hoffman, but she said, "What is this director trying to say?" Like she said, "Really, we're just getting it down our throats. What are you trying to say about America?" And in the middle of that, you get these two great performances. Which, if you'll, I don't know, should I talk about this now, or you want me to talk about this later?
Now let's do it later because we're coming up on the next line.
Okay.
My argument to all of this is about it being groundbreaking is I think beggars can't be choosers sometimes. And so like for it being like I know it wasn't the first gay
Mm-hmm.
movie, I'm sure, but for it to
Sure.
be like prominent actors willing to do it, to me that's like it's the old Cedric the Entertainer joke he's talking about with Barack Obama. He was like, I didn't look at his policies because I just want a black person in the president. He's like, next time I'll look at their points. Kind of saying like beggars can't be choosers. And I feel like this movie gets a lot of like credit historically, which I think it does belong historically, whether we disagree or agree with it as a whole because it is taking a lot of chances and risk, I think, personally. Just the fact that it's an X-rated movie technically. And it wasn't but 10 years ago we were sleeping in separate beds for I Love Lucy.
That's true.
That's my
But I'm
thing,
not going to give
and it
John
does a good
Voight.
job, I think, of encapsulating like the freedom of the 60s leading us into the
Yeah,
70s.
I'm not going to give John Voight any points for being in a gay scene when all he did was stand there and have people kiss on it. I don't give you any points for that. That's not being a part of a gay scene. That's having a gay scene on you. You know what I mean? That's all he really did. It's just stand there. And
Yeah.
it's the same thing with what Will Smith did in 6 Degrees of Separation.
But they
He
didn't
wouldn't
have
even
to do this stuff though. That's what I'm saying. Like
true, but
I thought about more Dustin Hoffman because like I think he's a gay character. And
I don't think he's a gay character at all.
no, he's
Oh,
well, a lot of people argue that he is a gay character. That's why
well,
he's
I
I mean
don't
that's
think so.
well that's fine. But that's like for him to just win, like you said, The Graduate, and now be willing to do this role. I think that is groundbreaking. I
I
don't
think
think
he was
it's
just this horribly disgusting role. Yes, I don't think he was a gay person. I don't think at all. I didn't get anything about that
oh, I
character.
totally did.
And John Wayne
James,
even
what do
said,
you think?
I I I'm really trying to, Steven, I'm really trying to see your point, and I'm having a hard time. Like, I
but
think
why
he
would he
is a
call? He uses the bad word for homosexuals all the time. Plus, the first thing he does with this
Steven, you
character,
use that word.
yeah, I know, but I do it because it's empowering, not because I'm making fun of it.
I think he does it because he's scared to be homosexual, so he's prejudiced. And also the actors both actually
But
played the role, him being gay. Like they've said in interviews that they played because I have it written here. It says that actors themselves felt that the two men shared a romantic bond.
romantic, but not gay. I mean, romantic. You don't have to be
Stephen, I
gay
don't
to have romantic. I mean, two
I don't
men
have
who
a
are
romantic.
so are you saying a bromance then? Like
maybe,
Brokeback
I
I
don't
Mountain?
mean,
think it's that.
if he really has if he's got a crush on him, I don't think the first thing he's going to do is steal from him
I don't think
and
he has a
commit.
crush on him, but I think he's a gay man.
I don't see that at all. I don't see that at all. And if they're
Uh,
playing
the,
that, they
the,
failed because I didn't see it.
those two liking each other, that was the most
And
unbelievable
this whole
thing in
thing
that whole
about,
movie
even
to
though I
me.
wrote it in the summary that they have a friendship, it's just this combative relationship throughout. Maybe at the very end they say something kind of nice and laugh at each other, but throughout the whole movie they're just up at each other's throats.
Well, yeah, because
They're,
they've
because no, they're the only ones who can have a friendship with them. It's
that's
not
what I'm
like they
saying.
like each
That's what I'm saying though. They kind of like made their bed and they got to lay in it
other.
because
Exactly, but they don't like each other.
I'm not saying that they're gay for each other, but I do think, my
No,
opinion,
I mean like, just
I think
like.
Ratso is a homosexual, but he doesn't know how to express it, and that's why he uses the terms and lashes out. That's my
Maybe,
opinion.
but I don't want him on my side, so I'm saying take a bath. Take a bath. Anyway, okay, next.
All right, all right. Well, then let's go ahead and hop onto it. So let's talk about the very famous line. I'm walking here. That's the only thing I knew from this movie going into it, and as Steven has alluded earlier, he has a problem with that. So let's go ahead and
I'd never seen the line in the movie, right? So I'm watching this scene happen. I'm like, oh, the line's coming up. Oh, well, and he's using that voice that he's doing in the whole movie. Where he's doing this. And then I'm walking here. And I went, you just dropped out of character. You just completely dropped the whole character. And yeah, and he's doing all these things. And then he goes back into the character. And I went, I would have begged to take that out of the movie. And that's why I go, so there's no other time in this movie where that voice comes out of him. It's always that other voice. He's trying to make you think it's his real voice, but it's not because it's all affected. Everything he did in this movie, I thought, God, I could see you trying to make this character, and it ain't working, honey. It ain't. I didn't find. I was not convinced of that character at all. John Voight loved his accent. Loved his accent.
Mm-hmm.
Right, Daniel. I mean, his
Yeah,
southern accent was
absolutely.
brilliant. Just his naivete, his confusion, how he really wasn't figuring out things before other people, and
Mm-hmm.
trying to be a nice guy, trying to be a mean guy, but couldn't pull it off. All of it, loved it. He deserved an Academy Award. Dustin Hoffman, go jump off a cliff.
Okay.
Could not stand it, and that's why that whole moment I was like, wow, that's who you are, and you just showed yourself without acting. What do you think, James? You think the
Okay.
opposite?
So do you not? So you live in Chicago, as do I. Do you not have pedestrian rage like I do when you're walking down the street
Oh
and
yeah.
someone tries to
I'm
cut
about
you
to
off,
say,
and then
I've
you just
witnessed
go from
Steven yell at people before.
But
you go from
I don't go into a different voice of my own, and then
I will go like I'm like walking like do like all happy go lucky, and then all of a sudden someone just tries to do this, and I like a switch is literally flipped, and I'm like I hit my hands on the car and I just start cussing out,
I
and
will
I don't
say that
normally do that,
I
but
have
like
said a lot of f words in the form, and had women with children look at me and go, "How dare you?" Well, I'm sorry, lady, but I'm upset.
Or he
You know,
says it to me when we're in a casino and everybody thinks he's mad at me. If I could have crawled in
that's
a
that.
hole that day, I would have died. I would have died.
anyway,
All right, don't go to the casino with Steven.
Yeah, no,
Noted.
do
and
not.
Luke.
Because if you start winning, he'll get so mad and tell you my
No,
car.
that's not what it was. I played the machine, and out of nowhere he goes,
He put
"Hey,
$5 in. Okay, talking about playing the
okay, shut up, don't embellish." And so, and he goes, "Hey, I know you have another 20. Can I just have your 20 so I don't have to go up and get more money?" I went, "Sure." He takes the 20, puts it in the same machine, wins on the first hand, and then it says, "Thanks," and hands you back to 20. And I was like, "Are you
Yeah, he was.
crazy?"
He just started screaming "mother effer," and I'm like, everyone's looking around. I'm like, Steven, they think you're top. They think that like me and you are
I was
fighting.
so
Please
mad.
stop.
I was, are you?
I
I
was
was
like,
Did
please,
casino police come down and descend?
no. I
no,
was
they were
like,
on my
please.
side because they were schmucking already
I
taking
was
20
like,
of my own.
please stop.
Oh, I was
And
out of my.
also, whenever we were going out to the casino, the train, we had to get off the train and get on a bus because there were like
Oh,
two stops that were
I
being
hate
like worked on. I've never heard so many F bombs mumble under this man's breath the entire
I,
time.
I
He
hate
literally
that.
sounds like Joe Pesci from Home Alone. Like,
I do hate that crap. You're right.
But I don't think he dropped character. I
you
think
have a good point
that
there. I
is
see your side too,
a
James.
reaction because pedestrian rage is real. I don't get road rage. I get
Okay,
pedestrian rage.
I'll give you. I'll say some of that. Maybe I still think he dropped character, and I still think his affected bullcrap is horrible. I think that voice is stupid, and I think his little limp is stupid, and I don't think he committed. I think he tried to commit. I think he tried like hell to find some character, and
Mm.
you can see him trying. That's all. You can see him trying.
Well, let us know in the comments below. Do you guys agree with James or do you agree with Steven? Put Team James or
Or
Team Steven below.
put your pedestrian rage comments in the comments because I would
Yeah, there
love
you
to hear
go.
that.
Yeah, well, they'll get filtered out by the bot, so we won't see them. So
Oh,
use it as a tool, guys. Go at it, have fun.
Have fun.
Um,
Mhm.
do you guys think that the babyface John Voight's Joe kind of shows the innocence of traditional American ideals and kind of like I think it like to me, I thought it was like a really good clash of like 50s and like early 60s, like ho hum, go digger. And then like he gets put in this gritty situation where there's no heat and like that. Like, do you guys think that his innocence is portrayed very well? Like, is it for like, if that makes sense? I may not be wording it correctly.
Yeah. That's
I
it.
mean,
I
when
mean,
it shows America's innocence dying. It
Basically.
comes to, yeah. I can kind of see
And
that
also
point.
like the 50s and 50s mainly was full of cowboy shows. And so part of
Mhm.
this, I wonder when people watched it who were like in our age, like my dad, he was a John Wayne fan, like seeing him dress up as, and then give it up, like Steven mentioned in the summary, like, was that kind of like symbolic of being like giving up on the American dream, so to speak, or, whatever.
Questions are out, space is in.
but
Basically,
the 60s were still very, very much cowboy shows.
they
I mean,
were okay. I assumed,
Big
but I
Valley,
didn't want to
Big
like
Valley, all that stuff.
Lone Ranger.
Um, but they really were. I can see what you're saying, but I think if you're talking about that, this film may be trying to capture that, but really, the the 60s was when things really began to change as far as the Eisenhower life of the 50s. And if you look at, there's a great documentary about, I've forgotten his name, gotta have to figure it out, I have to put it in the comments. But this gentleman wrote a book and it became a documentary series about how the 50s, the supposed um, sort of Americana of the 50s. The we're all clean, neat and clean for Eugene. We're all sort of all very put together. That it was the underbelly of the 50s that led to the 60s. It was the trying to stamp down on anybody being different or unique and pushing that down that led to this explosion of the 60s counterculture. That 60s counterculture sprang from people in the 50s trying to keep you into one section. And it's fascinating. It's very true to me. I mean, you can look all throughout, like The Man in the Great Flannel Suit, all these different movies and books that were trying to say, look, I don't live like this. I don't live like you're thinking we all live. This is how it's in my head. So you're right that this is sort of taking Americana and putting it out there and showing what Americana really is. But I don't like to be battened over the head with it so much. I mean, good God. I mean, there's so much of it.
So,
like, okay, we get it. It's bad. Moving on. We get it. It's bad. It's horrible. People are horrible. Americans are bad. We get it. Next,
So Stephen, from what I'm understanding, Leave It to Beaver was propaganda.
It was. It was.
No, but so
Or you're a little hard to Beaver last night. I mean, think about it. Think about it.
Oh boy. I appreciate John Voight's character, like Steven talked about earlier, because us, me and him both being Southerners, we get the accent of like, there's been a murder in Savannah, and that's a very small that's a very small percentage of people that talk like that. It's only on the East Coast, like, and it's very like it's Savannah, Georgia, like it's very like, but that's what everyone goes for, and I just love that he's like, well, howdy, man, like that is so real. Like I love that. And I love that he's like trying to get with that one lady and still asking for directions Statue of Liberty, even though he doesn't want it. But he's still being polite, like, "Hey, ma'am, can you tell me where we're going?" It's like he's still trying to be polite. Just I really like John Voight's character in this movie a lot.
He really nailed it. For someone who was born in New York, he nailed this accent.
He really did, yeah.
I mean, because he's right. I mean, everybody who does a Southern accent thinks they're in a Tennessee Williams play for some reason. They're playing Blanche Dubois or suddenly,
Yeah.
Deborah. It's ridiculous. And he didn't. He really got it right.
Yeah. What do you guys think that? How do you guys think that Joe's abusive childhood shaped his cowboy persona? Do you think it was like a coping mechanism, or what do you guys think?
Looking over a synopsis of the book, the only thing that I could see was that the one partner that his grandmother had, because she had a series of boyfriends, was a guy who was actually a cowboy, and that's what sort of stuck in his head. I don't get that from this movie. I just get that he was, maybe he saw something in the South.
I think it's a gimmick. I think it's like he's the cowboy, so he's gonna go to the North. It's like when I moved to Chicago, I was a dumb Southerner. Well, hell, tell me where we going, guys. I don't know where stuff is. It's a persona that we all put on, and Steven knows it better than anybody. We put on this persona of Southern people, and I think he done that, but he did it in a cowboy.
No,
because he mentions is John Wayne a fat, like I love that line. That's one of my favorite lines, by the way. Like I like, but it's like you telling me John Wayne's but it's like. But I think it goes back to the 50s and 60s of being glorified of cowboy. Everybody loved cowboys as kids and teenagers.
You're right. You're right. Absolutely.
James, anything you want to add? I know we've been kind of hogging the mic.
I mean, I think he thought, cowboys sell. That's gonna be my costume.
Do you think he has the bumper sticker from Joe Dirt that says "Cowboys' butts drive me nuts"?
Oh, of course, of course. He put it on the bus when he was driving up,
I love that.
getting
I
driven
love
up
that. That's
there.
my
Name a
favorite.
horse, ride a cowboy.
That's one of my favorite lines from that movie. Yeah, I saw your bumper sticker. It says "Cowboys' butts drive me nuts."
Oh,
Um, I feel like this movie does a very good job, and maybe this is just me because I didn't live it, but I think this sums up the '60s so well. Like Steven mentioned, like it may not be accurate as far as the exact time period, but I think of like free love. I know it's more '70s, but I do think that like that had to start because I mean, like we had Woodstock start this year, and Creed Bratton was there, and he was in a tunnel full of people in the mud. So who knows what he did? But I think
but this
to me,
having
this is
said,
a very good job of summing up the '60s, in my opinion. Now, I wasn't born there, so I don't know for sure. But like in my head, this represents
that whole
'60s very well.
psychedelic party thing is really what's showing you the '60s. I mean, I think this also shows what the '70s also were, which even though it's made in 1969, which is just fuck, sorry, pardon me, screw everything, you know, screw everything. I mean, and with because there was once you get the pill, which came in the late '60s, right? I think once you get the pill, which so women can take this and not get pregnant, there's anything you can get a shot for.
Yeah.
You can get a antibiotic and boom, you're done. Go back out there, have some more fun. So there's nothing that can hurt you, so you can just screw and screw and screw. You don't have to wear a condom. I mean, you
It
just do
it
it.
is kind of ironic that Stonewall happened this year, and then what, 20 years later, you're dealing with an AIDS crisis, like you said, Stephen. Like nowadays, you're Stephen, and you talk about this to me all the time. But now it's the opposite. Now people they don't care because they think they can get on these inhibitors, so they just go out and still don't act right, and then it's like there's side effects of those inhibitors for AIDS still. Like it's not
Um,
a you
People who
know.
are on prep, I mean, God love them. They're not. Well, I don't want to have sex with a condom. All right, but your liver is going to fail. So have
I
fun.
always give Stephen his credit for this, and I know I told Stephen this before. Like I know this is kind of off topic, but it's related to gay, obviously. But like I'm proud of Steven for always wearing protection and like being that person and being like, no, like I'm not. And he's told me stories where the guys will be like, "Are you gonna bring a condom?" And he's like, and the other guys
Oh,
like, "Oh, well, we'll figure it out when you get here." And he's
yeah.
like, "No, we're gonna figure it out
We're
now."
going to figure this out now. How we're going to play.
And
Well,
that's
it's no big
like
deal.
that's
It's
not
just my
easy when you're
life.
like to think with this brain versus the other like that. So
Well,
I mean, I'm
I'm
gonna give
that age.
my cowboy hat off to Steven still because I mean I want
Anybody
to.
younger than me who's gay has no idea what it was like. They can read about it. They can watch TV shows about it. They don't know what it was like to watch people die in 6 months in front of you, to watch people come Auschwitz victims that you knew were healthy and hot 3 months
Mhm.
before that. They don't know. They don't know what it was like to go, what's causing this? What if I get this? I truly believe, and I'm 56. I truly believed that when I graduated from high school, I would die before I was 25. Truly believed it. I didn't even think I'd make it through college. I started an organization, a gay organization in college with three other guys. Before we graduated, two of them were dead.
Wow.
So I didn't think I was going to live that long. 56? Are you kidding? That's a joke. So, to me, you don't know what it was like out there. It was scary. And there's never been a day in my life I've ever had sex where there's not been something in my back of my mind said, are you protecting yourself? Are you okay? Because if you're not, you're going to die. So even though today we have all these drugs, still is with me. It will be with me till the day I die. But at this point in the
And they
70s,
have side
I
effects
mean,
too, like you said. It's like
oh
they
yeah,
still have.
but like like you can watch this movie and go, wow, they're just going at it. They don't care because they don't
Right.
have to care.
Right.
They don't have to care. I mean, it's fascinating to me. The women just, oh, what the first woman he picks up, he's gonna take some baggage for me. He's gonna pick some, I can just let them in the building. It's crazy. I just love it. I love it with the dog.
All right, y'all. Do y'all think the finale is happy or sad? Meaning, like Rizzo finally gets his. Finally, Rizzo does make it to Florida and Miami, obviously, but dies on the bus. And for those who don't know, I had looked this up. Rizzo has tuberculosis. I didn't know what disease he had. And tuberculosis, one of the common viewpoints was if you go to warm weather, it would help, which it did because I know like polio, it helps some people like polio. Like for example, like FDR went to the springs in Atlanta or in Georgia, and that helped a lot because of the warm weather. I know it can help, but I felt it was very poetic to me. Do you guys think it was a happy or a sad finale? James, I'm gonna start with you first.
Okay, at least let him get to the neon lights. Come on, at least take him down to the street. Like he didn't even get off the damn bus.
Let him
Like
see the
how?
ocean.
Like yeah, let him
Let him see a
put his
titty
foot
bar or
in the
something, like
ocean.
like give
Yeah,
him.
give him something. Like just like oh, I'm in the bus and stuck in traffic.
God.
No, that ending annoyed me. At least let him like see Miami Beach with the neon, or go
Mhm.
in and put his foot in the feet in the ocean. Something.
No,
Not
put his
like
foot, put his club foot.
yeah, not just like I'm gonna like be waiting. I'm gonna be sitting in a bus. I'm gonna see the silhouette of Miami and just die in traffic. That I don't know if
You're
it's
right.
because I'm
I agree.
just so jaded about
I found
traffic.
I found it sad. I mean,
Yeah.
I found it very sad.
I also love the fact that the bus driver's like, nothing to see here, folks. He's okay.
Just a little illness.
Just
Being the guy turning blue in the back.
can you
Yeah,
cover his
okay.
eyes? Like, I think it was, and also I think it, to me, I think it allowed Joe to kind of shed that life in New York because that was the only thing connecting him to New York.
Mhm.
So he can start a new life down there, whether it's being a, whatever. But I felt like it was, and I felt like to me, I think it was sad, but it was also like hopeful kind of because like Rizzo, like to me, Rizzo died with the hope of making it to Miami. So he didn't die just like in his apartment with no heat. That, so like, and you could argue that he died beside his friend. I know that wasn't the best relationship. I'm not saying that, but towards the end, I do think they kind of it felt a little bit more like a brotherly love where you kind of hate on each other, but also love, in my opinion.
When you can
Um,
laugh with each other about pissing yourself, I think you made a friendship.
that's why me
You
and
know,
Steven are so friends. No,
hello, but you're right. I mean, it's just wow. But this movie also did a great job of showing the encroachment of the city to take over these abandoned buildings. I mean, they're next door, they're across
yeah,
the
it's a good
street.
point.
We're next. We got to get out of here. It's
It's a
not gonna
good point.
last for long, you know. So that was scary. Anyway,
So overall, did you guys like the movie?
no,
I know Steven's got an opinion. Well, okay, Steven, go ahead and go first then.
next, no. I mean, I just, I liked John Voight. I liked Rita Macaro. I liked Bob Balaban. I liked Bernard Hughes. I
So
liked a lot
just,
of
so
these
just say you
strong.
like everybody but Dustin Hoffman. I mean,
I
it's
just thought that Preston Hoffman's performance was just. I saw all the wires. I just didn't like it. Plus, I thought the director was trying to do so much to teach us about how much he hated America, or how much America hates us, or how much America sucks, or something. I don't know. But it was just like, God, we get it. Move on. Like, if that's something you want to make that movie. But then this shouldn't be about this relationship with these two guys. Like, what are you trying to say here? Pick a lane, buddy. It just annoyed me. I know a lot of people love this movie. I just did not. I did not at all.
James. What
No.
about you?
But it was meh. Like maybe it's because I've like, I'm seeing it from this thing. Like to me, this is
Yeah.
not groundbreaking or anything. I at the time, I guess it was, but
Nah.
like looking at it from my perspective, and like sometimes it's hard to put like that perspective, those glasses on for those years. It's like, it's a movie. It's about this guy going to New York, failed being a prostitute, and it was just meh.
I
And
think
as we
my
said
opinion
before,
of it is
it's not
jaded.
a great movie.
My opinion is jaded because our last movie was out of Africa,
Oh, there you go.
and so this is I
Yeah.
was actually entertained during this movie. So like I think I think if I just watched this randomly, I wouldn't liked it, but I actually enjoyed it. It didn't bother me at all like I thought it would. Like I maybe it's because I was like not infatuated, but I really just appreciated John Boy's character a lot. I just loves mannerisms because I've never seen him young before. So that was another thing that's throwing me off. I'm like, you're not Nicolas Cage's dad from National Treasure. What do you do? Yeah, like that's basically like my extent of John Voight. I mean, I know him a little more than that, but that's where I know him mainly from. You're not the
Well, you're really
historian.
showing yourself, honey. National Treasure movies. Boy, howdy. Yeah, there
How
you
well
go.
you better check yourself. Those are great movies. I will
Yeah,
fight you right now. I
okay.
will kick your toe.
Okay. All right. Forget it, Orson Welles. It's the National Treasure movies that are
And
really
they
bad.
are good.
Okay, here we
Maybe
go.
I'm biased. I'm a history major, but that's beside the point. Anyway,
Yeah.
all right. So then, did it deserve to win?
No.
Um, can I finish, Stephen, please? I feel like we have a parrot in the room. Just for a record, according to IMDb, Midnight Cowboy got a 7.8. And is it Ann or Ann? It's Ann, right? And 1,000 Days got a 7.4. Z, as in Zima, got a 8.1. Hello, Dolly got a 7.1. And then
Hello.
Butch Cassidy got an 8.0. Or Butch Cassidy and Sundance Kid 8.0.
No.
Steven, since you have no opinion on this, tell me what you think should have won.
Butch Cassidy and the Sundance Kid. If you want to talk about a movie talking about what America is, the changing time of America, and how industry and how government or how whatever is encroaching on the spirit of America, Butch Cassidy and the Sundance Kid. Plus, it's entertaining. Plus, it's funny. Plus, these two guys are the best at the top of their professions. Butch Cassidy and the Sundance Kid. End of story. Even though I'm a homosexual, not Hello Dolly. She was too young. I'm sorry. I don't care. She was too old to play the Angel. She was too young to be Hello Dolly. Sorry. It's just the truth. Moving on. Hello, Butch Cassidy, the Sundance Kid. Next. Anybody else?
James, what do you think?
Sure, it should win, but I don't really know many movies from this era. I
You
know
never watched
I
Butch
recently
Cassidy?
saw. No, I haven't seen Butch
Oh,
Cassidy.
wow.
I
Wow.
have seen recently on Her Majesty's Secret Service a James Bond movie, so there's that.
One of
Don't
my
But I
one of
don't.
my
but I'm
favorites.
assuming Midnight Cowboy should win over that. But
Yeah, it's a James
but I
Bond
don't
movie.
really
Come on.
like.
Hey, it truly
Hey,
is
how
a
you
great
doing?
Bond movie. It's a great Bond movie.
You can make fun of my
But
so I can you can make fun of my favorite shows, but I can't make fun of yours. Is that what it is, Steven?
Yeah, because
Okay.
it's National Treasure versus James Bond movies. Come on.
But is it Roger Moore's James Bond? Like
No, it's even worse.
yeah, look at Steve like who
It's the
is
one
it?
movie, the one movie made without Roger Moore or Sean Connery.
Who is
It's
it?
what's
it's the rando guy,
what's
George
his name? George
Lazenby.
Lazenby.
George, there you go.
George Lazenby, who
That's
I love as James
Steven couldn't
Bond.
even keep his he couldn't
I
even,
love him. Other people don't like him. I love, and it's got Diana Rigg as the Bond girl. If you have Diana Rigg as the Bond girl, it should win. Telly Savalas,
It's
Kojak is the Bond villain. What do you want?
it's
okay.
not a good
Tell us
Bond
about she
movie.
got me on that one. All right,
It's not
so
a good Bond
James,
movie.
are you just gonna pick you're picking this
I'm
just
just
by
saying
default?
yes. Yeah, by default because I know nothing else.
Oh, bless his
So
heart.
I've watched. I told Steven earlier. Butch Cassidy. I watched mainly as a kid. I think with my dad. It was on TV, like a teenager. So I don't remember. I need to go back and rewatch it. But I do want to give two shout outs. True Grit, the original one, or I think it's the original one. It's the
Yeah.
one with John Wayne. And then also the Clint Eastwood movie called Where Eagles Dare.
Mm-hmm.
That's him as a World War II spy. I think either one of those. But culturally, probably this one should win because it's just the whole like touching on taboo subjects.
Where Eagles Dare. Sounds like the gayest movie in the world. Where Eagles Dare.
Steven, it'd be where pigeons dare. All
Where
right.
Eagles Dare.
Last but not least, we got our Ducky Award. So James, duck
God,
you and give us the award.
kill me now.
Mine is to the director for
Oh.
basically it got an NC-17 and they tried to like the motion board realized they messed up and it shouldn't have been that high, the
Mm.
X-rated movie. So they asked him to delete just a couple frames of the movie so they could give it a lower rating. And he said no. So
Mm.
my thing is to the Ducky for the director for saying no, I'm not cutting a single frame. You messed up and you have to deal with it.
No, I want to see. Yeah, I want to see that.
And that director is John Schlesinger, for those of y'all who are
I
curious.
had no idea how to say his last name, so
I
I was
assume that's
just
right. I
going
could be
with
way off. I'm just guessing.
Schlesinger.
All right, y'all.
Slice.
It's our favorite time.
Oh God. Hold on. Okay, I'm not going to say the names of movies I want
It's
out
the
loud.
Wheel of Fortune. Let me
Wheel of Fortune. The
something
Wheel
good.
of Fortune.
If it's
we
Crash, I'm gonna flip my desk.
the Wheel
Sure,
O'Malley. Let me
sure,
see.
baby. My name is Sally O'Malley. I'm 50 years old. I like to kick, stretch, and kick.
Y'all ready?
Absolutely. I'm ready. Hit me with it. Hit me with your best shot. Why don't you hit me with your best shot?
Next week, we are watching
God, what is it?
Gentleman's Agreement from 1947.
Oh,
Oh, yeah. Interesting. Gentleman's
okay.
Agreement.
This is a lot better. I'm excited.
Yeah.
Never
Yeah.
seen it or heard of it.
Yeah. I've never seen it, but I've read about it.
Oh, got
So maybe
Gregory Peck in it.
Oh, you
Okay.
guys are in for a treat. You guys are in for a treat.
Ooh.
I enjoyed this movie.
And John
Gentleman's Agreement.
Garfield. Okay. A reporter pretends to be Jewish in order to cover up a story on anti-Semitism. Oh, okay. Interesting. It's
Yeah.
very
Good
fitting
book.
right
You got,
now. Cool.
yeah, you guys are in for a treat.
Nice.
Yay.
Awesome. Well, if you made
All
it
right.
this far,
Directed
thank
by
you.
Ilya Kazan. What do you want? Ilya
Please,
Kazan. Oh.
please do like and subscribe. Like I said, if you made it this far, we do appreciate it. We're on the road to 100. But without further ado, this is the Chicago Cinephiles podcast. Signing off.
Bye.